rotten planet. And
We're
Okay, here I am. I'm live. I'm ready to go. How you doing, folks? Welcome to the show. Good evening, good day, good afternoon. It's HouseSparks Megaworldwide. Like, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, support the show. Patreon.com/HouseSparks, etc. All the things I forget to say. Wait, well, hold on. I almost forgot where is it? This guy. Ding! Look at that. The Venmo is up. I don't know what else to... Whatever. Ding! No, I'm not. You don't even have to do the HouseSparks of Blue Sky. It's just HouseSparks.com on Blue Sky now. Welcome, everybody. So between the Carter funeral and the wildfires, my feed, media-wise, I think like a lot of you, has been vacillating between heroically inspiring and devastatingly sad. And I think both of those things are running parallel right alongside each other. So, to all those that are on the edge of stuff, I'm always. So I have a lot of friends in LA, not the least of which our dear friend Caleb Rappaport from Nerd Halen, whose house was destroyed. His father's home was destroyed. I have other friends who were in the nearly evacuation area and might still. We don't know. And on the one hand, I want to call and check on everybody. On the other hand, I don't want to eat up phone time with anybody, and I feel like I will check in with them afterwards. If I was walking distance to anybody, I would call everybody I know in the surrounding area and go, hey, you got what you need, right? But since I'm not, and any help I could give would be minimum of 24 hours away, I think best to stay out of the way. Maybe some texts are a good way to go at it. And then in contact with those people, once stuff starts, settling down, the wind's supposed to stop tomorrow. It's going from I think 25 miles an hour, slowing down tonight, and it will be 6 miles an hour tomorrow. So that will hopefully give the firefighters the edge they need against it, and they'll get a hold of the outer areas. Right now, they're just securing sites beyond it and try to create a buffer zone. But the management moment, it's always something I struggle with, and I'm curious, chat room, let's talk about this for a second. I'm curious about this, because when you have a lot of connections in the world, and you got a lot of friends spread out all over the place, and crises occur, I always feel like I see a lot of people on social media and a lot of people obviously reaching out via phone and the like. And it's, I suppose in certain moments, it's nice to know you're heard and people care about you. But I always feel like it was kind of goes to the conversation we had yesterday or the day before about the importance of the moment, and that details and circumstantial contact and communication matters more than the emotional. At a certain point when they're dealing, then you'd be there, right? You know what I mean? Then, I feel like every time I see, they show these neighborhoods, and I just want to throw a shovel and a chainsaw in my truck when this is done and just drive out there and do some shoveling. You know what I mean? Afterwards. Because I don't have a fire truck, so I can't put the fires out. And I don't, I'm not going to borrow any water from anywhere else that needs it to do it myself. I got to attach giant water jugs to the top and just, build 3D print spray mechanisms or something. So the help I can do will probably be in cleanup and support and all those kind of things. And so it's really rough, making that, that decision about like, who do I call out and reach out? Like, I immediately, when I saw Caleb's post, I reached out to him just to check on him and see if he was okay in the immediate situation. Because if there was something I could go, hey man, you guys could go to the house in LA and I'll tell Bumper and Chad to move over. And you guys, if you need a place to flop, you can go there, right? They were the only people I knew at that time who would need, no longer have a home. It's gone. Everything's gone. And they need a place to stay. And they had found one already, so they were good. But you're useless at the moment, just another body in the way when it comes to cleanup, then you can help. I agree, Manchita. I think that's where it should be. Now, somebody just said you were thinking about me and the whole thing of me running for mayor and what Karen Bass is going through. I got to tell you, I agree. I think she's walking into this, relatively new to the job in that regard. And so the idea that, you could prep for a once in 40-year windstorm during the dry season when when the conditions were very bad, but there were warnings. And she was in Africa. She went to Ghana to congratulate them on their president being elected. I have always thought it odd, and this is just me as a human being. When sometimes congressional delegations will go to foreign countries, or groups of mayors or governors will go as trade delegation kind of, caucuses, right, to other countries during their time in office. Let's say California does a lot of trading with some particular country, and there's reason to have, you've got workers in business and all this kind of stuff, and you got all the Armenians in Glendale and yada yada, and you're like, hey, maybe a trip there is worth it with with an outreach group. Considering the size of Los Angeles's economy, it's equal to the majority of the countries. It's greater than the majority of the countries on the planet. Just LA, just Los Angeles. That's why you've got like 35 million homes in equal amount of structures in a certain amount of acreage, and you've got $80 billion in damage. Just think about how much the rest of Los Angeles is worth materially, and then extrapolate that out to the possibility for earthquakes and all that other stuff. You can see where cities that size are always teetering on the brink, right? And so I just got to say, first term, I'll just put it this way. First term, stay put. Mayors, Congress people, especially more, because you're more localized in your electoral group, as far as voters go, and your responsibilities. Senators are one thing, an entire state's a lot, whatever. But just for the record, Biden sent the delegation. She was chosen, but she could have not gone. And I'm not blaming her. I'm just saying, hindsight being 2020 and going forward, I would recommend first term, don't go anywhere. First term is I'm just saying. And especially if you have, like if you were mayor of Miami and you knew it was hurricane season. And right now we know it's fire season and things are particularly dry and they had all these warnings or whatever. And, I don't blame her for doing it. This is a once in a couple of lifetimes kind of a circumstance, right? So I'm not saying she was wrong for doing it. I'm just saying my general advice going forward. First term in office, stay put. Dedicate yourself 100% to the space that you are now responsible for. Right? If you've been on the city council for 35 years or something, I suppose it's delegation time. They figured out how to get by without. They know what you want. They know what you're working at. That your voters know what to expect. There's a strategy already in place, right? So I'm just saying. It's always fire season when it's dry, when the wind comes. The Santa Ana winds, it is fire season. When the Santa Ana winds are coming, that's what if you guys remember, go watch Charmageddon. Okay, so if you haven't seen my special, Charmageddon, I highly recommend it because it's lovely. But usually when I'm doing stand-up, and this was no different even though I was taping a special, is I always try to throw in something at the beginning that has to do with where I am. Just kind of, ingratiate yourself to the locals and the audience. Don't just go right into your act, bring them in on it and make them recognize. And there's a joke in the beginning of that, and I won't reiterate it, about Santa Ana and the fact that every time, the Santa Ana winds blow, everything catches fire. This is not anything new. Now, the extraordinary nature of this is what's new, and horrifying. And it's this is one of those things where there are elements of it that are insurmountable no matter what anybody would have done. There's not enough water you could reservoir to deal with fires this big over this big an area. There's also a lot of arson that happens in these situations. Assholes setting fires because it's all starting and like, this is the time, and so they run out, or some like rank fucking psychopath decides, that they're going to join in the fun. There's all kinds of stuff, okay? That happens in these circumstances. But at the baseline, it was red flags everywhere. And so, it might be a good idea. And I'm going to say this, anytime your first term in office, you run for, state commissioner, you run for counselor, you run for DA, you run for mayor, you run for lieutenant governor, whatever it is, first term, stay put. Do yourself that favor. Yeah, and trying to commit murder. Yes, there's always that opportunistic shit in there. I'm telling you, though, okay? So just putting that out there. This is my advice to you, and a reminder to myself that were I in the same circumstance, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving the city for the most part. Any place I can't be back in the city in under 3 hours, meaning basically the rest of the United States, I'm not going anywhere. First term. Second term, you got a staff in place. Everybody knows what you want. You've already got a kind of shorthand with not just your people that you brought in, but with the other people around you, and you can expect that you've got the coordination of it down. It'd be another thing too if you were mayor of something else, or you were deputy mayor and then you became mayor. Maybe you get a little wiggle room because you spent some time in that office, and and it's just you're almost kind of like getting a promotion. But most of the time, that's not what happens, especially when it comes to mayors. Okay. Evening. So I'm just saying, as a general good look, I would like to say, going forward, it's a thought, okay? And I'm not, again, I have nothing against Mayor Bass, and she's doing a fine job. She'll be all right. But there are bear traps all over the place in a place as big and as complex as Los Angeles. Same thing with New York or any of these other places. Stay put. It's a digital world, and you can do a lot of stuff there, especially when you're getting all these red flags. It's just as a practice. Just say it. This doesn't have to be blame. I would say going forward, knowing what we know. And largely because just getting, she's obviously, as a congressperson, been involved in politics in the area for a very long time. But the difference between congressperson and mayor is executive. The congressperson, and now LA is different because there's the city council. The city council is more to blame than Mayor Bass is by any stretch about any shortcomings that occurred. Right? Clearly. Because they're the ones who set the standards, and it's a lot of times the mayor of Los Angeles wrestles a lot of power from them, and developmentally clearing old places and building new places and all stuff. That's the one thing that the city council slow rolls all the fucking time. So on the one hand, you want to save old buildings and make sure they're around for a long time, but you also want to make sure that if a building is basically vacant, like you can go through Hollywood and there's a bunch of like what I would say empty investment properties by foreign investors that just sit vacant and rotting, and you know, they get fined every so often if they become like a crack house or a, you know, a user house of any sort, and somebody dies there or whatever, and then they get a fine, and so they just build the fence up higher, and then they just cut a hole out of the bottom. You know what I mean? They don't do anything. There's tons of these things, and they should have been knocked down years ago. But the people who own them don't live in the country, don't give a shit about them, are just sitting on them because they expect, you know, real estate in the Los Angeles area to go up, you know, all the time. So the mayor screwed up the hydrants that were dry. No, she did not. The issue there, quite frankly, is just the volume of water needed. There's no way the reservoir holds enough water for fires this big, because it's extraordinary. You know what I mean? At a certain point, what you need it for is just to mitigate and hold the fire, and then you got to call in reinforcements. But the wind was so strong, they couldn't bring in, you know, water planes and helicopters and stuff, because it would knock them, you know, they would contribute to the problem, right? So I wish I could bring up a picture of this place. But like on, is it on, I think it's on Boulevard, Hollywood, Vermont, good, whatever. Okay, so let me see if I can bring this up. Maybe I can map my way through this. Yeah. I don't know if I can, satellite bird's eye street view. Let's go to here. Yeah, there, right there. And then street side. Close this, go away. Try to give you a street view. Okay, where are we? Okay, yeah, all right, so let's go down Vermont. Shall we, kids? Hold on. Let's take a little trip with me. This is LA. This is not obviously live. We're going down Vermont, and there's sunset. We're going to keep going to where Vermont hits Hollywood. And you'll find that, you know, come on. Just go this way. Okay, keep going, you crazy thing. I don't want to zoom in on it, you goofball. It's so much easier on an app, isn't it? So over in this area of Hollywood, there's a lot of like mixed buildings. There's some like schools or official buildings, and then there's a lot of like rando apartment buildings on the right. None of them are very big because it's all built at a time when there's like a, let's see, I'm gonna try to bring this up right here. I want to go over to here, actually. Let's go to here. I'm not going there, you silly. Go there. Okay, yeah. Found it. Man, I'm so good. God damn, I'm good. Look at that. Okay, so this is Sunset Boulevard. See this building, this white rotted building, which looks kind of cool. Looks like an old motel or something like that. Okay, this thing has been a rotten white contraption. No, this is the other side of town, by the way. This is nowhere near the whiskey. This is closer, heading towards downtown. But see this thing? This is a cool looking building. This could be apartments. This could be shops. It could be a myriad of things. But it is sat derelict and dumpy with this barrier in front of it for ages, a decade at least. And to me, at some point, and this is what I would lay at the feet of the city council, because the mayor can't do anything about this per se except yell at them, I suppose. This building, more than likely, is owned by a foreign consortium of God knows who fucking money somewhere. And you can't buy it and you can't sell it, and the city can't seize it, and it just sits there. Basically becoming a drug den, or just people die at random, or, you know, like it could be a homeless shelter. I mean, there's so much you could use it for. And it's, but it has looked exactly like this forever. And to me, I feel like this would be one of those things where after a decade, the city council should be able to make a rule about zoning that says, hey, if you buy a building and you just leave it to rot, I don't give a shit if you're paying your taxes on the space. You either got to shit or get off the pot. You either have to develop it or knock it down. Because the building itself is dangerous, and if you go, all I want to do is have the land and this thing, then you're going to pay the price of the property that could have been there, because we need apartments. And so if there's a building next door to it that has, 12 or 20 apartments in it, then you could build an equal thing here. You can either do that, and there's all sorts of tax incentives to do it, or you can get the fuck out. Because all this thing is doing is sitting there waiting for somebody to set fire to it. Right? And again, total foreign money. Just absolutely not owned by an American citizen at all. They're doing that. We're doing that here in Ireland. It's smart, Colin. Super smart. And when you have a city that needs homes, needs apartments, needs living spaces of all economic stripes, the idea in a place where shit is that expensive that you would have, and this is not, I'm picking this one, out at random because I'm used to passing it all the time, but there's a shit ton of buildings like this. And there's no reason for it. And they're all barricaded, and they're all, and they just sit there as this like chunk of blight. It's a huge problem. And it all has to do with foreign investment that has no strings attached. And this could be part of some Saudi asshole's portfolio that he never has to touch, because it will go up in value just because of everything else around it. So anybody around here, like you own this building right here, let's say you were like investing and you're like, I don't have enough money to build up, but I could build out, right? Or whatever you're doing. You can't, because this thing is just a fucking hole. And then here's a similar cross street. There's a parking lot attached to this little place, like these little guys. There's a lot of people who are grandfathered in, and this is cute. They rent these things out. People have little shops in them, that kind of stuff. And there's an apartment building and some like a strip mall thing over here. The apartments are over here. And then there's this fucking monstrosity. This has got to be remedied. As LA mayor, that would be one of my cause celebs. Blight properties got to go. They're either going to be knocked down flat. We're going to bulldoze these motherfuckers so that you can rent it out as a parking lot, or we're going to, or they've got to be rebuilt, fixed up, or they've got to have somebody build up on it. Because what the hell? New York has a lot of places like this as well. And it's all foreign money. Now, what's the secondary cause of something like this? What does this do? Yeah, it's a tax write-off. I don't doubt it. But it shouldn't be. It should be too expensive to just have it sit. That's how you handle it. It'd be a crack house in Ohio. It's a crack house there, effectively. A small park is a great idea. Right, exactly. These are foreign landlords who own big portfolios of dead property. And because LA property is so valuable, they can just sit there and let it rot and pay the minimum property tax on it. They know whenever they sell it, they're going to sell it for a lot. It will never effectively go down. And the city council, because they slow roll any building that on areas where people do want to build, that automatically raises the value of shit like this. Because, that land will always be a premium. Unless they let places that are, a block of 3-story apartments build up to 10-story apartments, right? And so by not allowing regular development, by not allowing growth to match the people that live in the city, Because we're not talking about them building suburbs out in the middle of fucking nowhere. This is in a city where there's been population for a long fucking time. By not allowing that buildup, it drives up the value of all land in the area because you're going to need it eventually. You're going to have it even if you build a single home on it. Anyways, so this piece of property, just so you know, like this, you know, is there something in your town? Chat room, let me know. Is there something in your town that makes you shake your head when you drive by it? One thing you see all the time. Something when you're driving around, you're like, what the fuck? Why won't they fix that? Right? Whatever that is, there are dozens of other people who feel the same way you do, if not hundreds. Think of the traffic you go through and you see that one thing all the time and you're like, God damn, what the fuck is that? Right? Your whole town. Easy. Right? But you know what I'm talking about. Like within the measure of everything. If it's the whole town, then there's something even worse in that town that would probably be the linchpin of the problems with it. Right? Trump Tower, Chicago. Right? Gold monstrosities. Think of that thing and know that in your town, everybody drives by thinking the same thing. There's hundreds of other people who think exactly the same thought you think about it, and then there's dozens of other people that if you brought up to them that thing, they go, oh yeah, I've seen that thing, what the fuck? And from that point on, they would notice it every day too. Old electric building in your small town. There you go. Right. Yeah, you call it your house. Easy done. So there are, there's so many of these things where they are already, for our friends who want to run for office someplace on a local level, that's where you start. Let's each take a pet project. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. As a matter of fact, the fuck is the address on this thing? 4270 Sunset Boulevard. I don't even know that this is well, I'm going to look it up. Hold on. Let's see. I don't even know if that's nope, that's the other side of the street. So it's 4271, I bet. Let's see, go across the street. No, that's further down the road too. Yeah, it's this thing. Hold on. Yeah. 4301, it seems to like. Yeah. Is that this thing? Nope. Yeah, so this thing doesn't even have a fucking address. So sad. Okay, maybe it's attached to that. Maybe that's the back end of it. Maybe that's maybe it's not technically a Sunset address. That makes sense. It's on whatever that corner is. So technically speaking, it's on this street. Yeah, so it's like an apartment on... Oh, God, look at this fucking thing. It's so fucking sad. Look at this. This is on this little street right here. Whatever. Let's see, this little guy. Who's this? But yeah, so that's the building from the side, right? All the way up to the corner, and it goes down to here, and then there was like an entryway here or something. Probably was hurt in the earthquake back then. So this is the corner of Bates. Yeah, it's the Bates Motel. Of course it is. Why not? So that thing is basically a target for all kinds of awful. Let's see. Derelict. Well, let's see. I'm turning this into a project right here. Derelict building. Bates and Sunset, Los Angeles. Seedy former motel and whatever this is, 2015. In the afterlife, ghostly apparition installation possesses Sunset Boulevard Motel. Even the okay, fuck you. I'm not gonna pay for that. So stupid. It's the Sunset Pacific Motel. So they turned it into a public art piece by painting it white. Jesus, look at this. That's how it got white in the first place. Somebody decided to paint it all white as an art piece. Lemro tells Kirby used a crew of painters armed with sprayers and giant hoses to cover the Sunset Boulevard in an ecologically safe lime wash. Only took them a week to get the bulk of the work done, but they're still working here, totally covered. It's quite unique send-off for the seedy landmark before it's ultimately raised for a mixed user. It never was. This is 2015 when this happened. Project announced last October is probably the first time in a long time the old inn, aka Sunset Pacific, has got much attention. The Bates, whose nickname is much callback to Psycho. Except for squatters, the occasional totally fun-looking, likely illegal party. City was set to demolish it in 2009, but developers Frost Chaddock bought the property with the intention of putting one of a trio of mixed users on the site. FC was a big supporter of the artwork of Lemro. Eventually, Frost will demolish a great white hotel to make way for the largest of its three planned developments. 122 unit with 5,000 square feet combined retail, restaurant space. That never happened. That was 2009. It's 2024. City OK's demolition of Silver Lake's Bates Motel. September 23rd, 2009. Most people have been charging people to cross in front of the motel. It's been empty for decades. William Larson attended the hearing, told the board president. March Brown said she received nearly 200 letters in support of demolition. Lawyer for the owners, listed as FNS Silver Lake LLC, a company with a Michigan mailing address, attended the hearing but was clearly in the minority. Only person besides the lawyer. Okay, hold on. Now, FNS Silver Lake LLC. Let's check out who they are. Give me 1 second. This is good. Chat room. We're in business. Probably ran out of money. I don't know. Probably just forgot about it. LAcity.gov. Phase 1 environmental assessment was made in 2007 for FNS Silver Lake LLC with a P.O. box in LA, but they're linked there, prepared by Terracon. That's who did it, drafted it up. Submit the enclosed environmental site assessment. Ground is relatively sound, isn't going to fall over. What's their declaration? Let's see, page 9. Jesus. Yeah, this is the here you go. View of the east adjacent, view of the west from the west adjacent. This is all the shit that's inside it. There's the site looking east, site looking west. It's basically out the windows at the houses across the street. Miscellaneous furniture pines located in the vacant hotel space. There's a couple of ATVs parked in there in the underground spaces. I wonder if they're still there. Probably fucking still there. Okay, whatever. Anyways, so this is 2007. Then in 2009, they're gonna raise this thing. Now FNS Silver Lake LLC is in Wilmington, California. FNS Silver Lake LLC, Bingham Farms, Michigan, Wilmington, Delaware. So it's a Delaware corporation. There are two companies with the name FNS Silver Lake LLC. One, Bingham Farms, Michigan. That would be the address for the other place. And the other one is Wilmington, Delaware. That sounds like a corporation. Asbestos survey led inspections were proposed. Open corporates. Who the fuck are these people? There we go. This sign-on, no change. Sign-on complete. Registration. They registered. They have their. Yeah, here you go. This is the extent of this shit. 2007, they ran all these things to see if they're going to do it. In 2009, they passed. They were going to dump it. Mailing address: Telegraph Road in Michigan, Bingham Farms, Michigan, out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Head office address: California, United States. Get out of here. FNS Silver Lake, Delaware, which is just your standard corp. House company, free and open company, Delaware. Okay. See if these guys, Open Corp, one officer available. Please log in to see this data. I don't give a shit. Similarly named company. There's their annual statement. The last annual statement was in 2013 for 2012. Wait, okay, maybe they have more. No, 2014, annual statement. That was the last known one. FNS Silver Lake Company, filing URL. Let's see who the fuck these people are. Ah, it's the same rotate. Agent name Gilbert Buzz Silverman is the guy. Buzz, good old Buzz Silverman. Gil Buzz Silverman is a domestic limited liability company jurisdiction. Log in to see the day incorporation date. In existence, but not in good standing. So who the fuck? Jesus Christ. Can I just go lay claim to this property then? Seriously, what's the squatter rules? I should just move into this fucking thing. Except I don't want to get asbestos poisoning. Director's office. I'm not going to log in to see the officer, and this is going to be Buzz. The one officer is going to be Gilbert Buzz Silverman. All right, I'm keeping this information for later. Sunset Boulevard's basement motel maybe coming down again. That was 2009. Nope. Yeah, look at this. Turning Silver Lake's derelict thing into a derelict thing. This is, and by the way, this is the derelict building at Bates, and there you go. Seedy former motel gets a new life. This is 2015. That's where they were going to knock it down, neglected, turning it into this. You can check it out. W Magazine, 15 years ago, a trip to Los Angeles, French artist Lamoureux discovered this derelict Sunset Pacific and painted it fucking white. Who cares? Explaining massive Sears Tower complex in Los Angeles. That I want to buy. That's fucking great. Oh my God, the Sears Tower complex is down where my band rehearsal space is. That's another one. That could be fucking apartments forever. Huge lofts, awesome, not far from downtown. Silly. God damn, these people are dumb. This is rough. Okay, now I'm sorry I got lost down a rabbit hole, kids. But you can see why I have designs on doing something about these fucking things. Pay 5 years of back taxes and it's yours. Is that the rule, Groove? Shit, if I find out how much that is on the down low, I'm gonna start a GoFundMe for the cost of that and a bulldozer. Son of a bitch. So there's a lot to this that just drives me fucking bananas, and it's so fucking sad, and it's unnecessary. Check out the SCOTUS. Oh, because SCOTUS told him to go pound sand. He can't punt his hearing. He's going to get basically his. I would love to see. I mean, we'll see. We won't know, but I would love to see his. The judge say, you've been found guilty. I'm sentencing you to jail time. But since you have a presidential term to serve for those 4 years, I will hold it in abate. And as long as you're a good boy and you don't commit any crimes while you're president that you can be held liable for on a state level, we'll call it quits. That'd be hilarious. That'll be your 2028 campaign office. It's a great fucking idea. Rebuild it and then go, see, this is how you get shit done. And thank you, Mark, for putting Caleb's GoFundMe in there as well. He just posted it, guys, in the chat. I'll do it again, too, so that I can copy. So I can put it in all the chat rooms. Appreciate it. I just copied that from Mark. Thanks, Mark. So let's get on with the show, shall we? I mean, I got... And look, I'm very excited about the idea of like cracking my knuckles on politics over the next couple of years. It's going to take me a while. I don't know how to get all. I'm going to have to hire one of these like campaign consultants or somebody who wants to work pro bono until we get there to help me get signatures and all that kind of stuff. But for God's sake, if Marianne Williamson can run, so can I. Damn it. My volume's low. I think it should. My volume's turned all the way up on here. So maybe might be that I turned it down the other day. How's that? Is that a little better? Yeah. Check and check. There we go. And I'll bring it up just a touch. Hopefully that's better. Check. I don't even know why I raise my voice when I do. Because I have to back off the mic. Anyways, hopefully that's better. Okay, now let's get. Trump met with Republican senators yesterday, and he was a dickhead at the Jimmy Carter thing. And I would love to, let me look it up in a minute, but I'd love to play a couple of things from Jimmy Carter's funeral as well. But first, let's check in on this, Trump's meeting with Republican senators. This is pretty short, but obviously they're like, what's this Greenland, Canada tariff horse shit all about, really?
So, thank you very much. We had a great meeting. There's great unity. Whether it's one bill or two bill, it's going to get...
It's got some bill. There's great unity about whether it'll be 3 bills, maybe 7 bills, 5 bills. I just don't like standing next to Thune because he's so fucking tall. His head gets cut off by the frame like a son of a bitch. By the way, Trump is allegedly 6'3". Look at Thune. You want to see why? You want to see why Trump can't hate Thune but wants to? Look at that motherfucker. Jesus Christ. He could be Barron's dad. That's the season 2 shocker, the twist.
Done one way or the other. I think there's a lot of talk about two.
Sorry, I feel like, hold on. Back here. Where is it? Trump.
PP2.
Yeah, there you go.
TPP2. PP2.
There's definitely a lot of talk about 2.
And there's a lot of talk about 1, but it doesn't matter. The end result is the same.
No, it isn't. It's only the same if you can get them both passed, stupid. If you get 1 passed, you get all of it passed. And if you get put it in 2, that means you can't get it passed all at once, which means you're going to have less of it in some of the bill. So, no, it's different. It does matter, you jerkweed.
We're going to get something done that's going to be reducing taxes and creating a lot of jobs and all of the other things that you know about.
Yeah, creating jobs and reducing taxes and all of the things that you know about, rounding up the Browns and kicking them out of the country and helping my rich friends buy more American real estate under the table, blah, blah, blah.
But this was a really unified meeting, and I want to thank John and everybody for...
Who's that on the far left? Yeah, Vance, right. Who the hell's that guy?
It was a great turnout. This was
It's a great turnout. We should have sold tickets. Shit. They had a bunch of senators in there. Some of them take up a lot more space than others.
Came here for the funeral tomorrow. We went over to Blair House. I went over with First Lady. Met the Carter family. They were lovely. They were really very sad, but also they were celebrating because he was a very fine man. I knew him a little bit, but...
I knew him a little bit. He was going to help me with China, and I told him to go fuck himself. And then, in retrospect, probably was a little harsh.
I knew him only as a fine man. Then we came here, we had a meeting, but it was a really good meeting, very strong.
Very strong, powerful meeting. There was a lot. It was loud but not desperate, and it was a very strong and powerful meeting between my ass and their mouths.
And we'll get something done. 1 bill, 2 bills doesn't matter to me. They're going to work that out, but the end result is going to be the same. So thank you.
Also, not if you can't get them both passed, and if you have to, fuck me, if you have to divide the 1 bill up into 2 bills, there's a reason for that. It's because somebody in your party does not want to vote for the whole package, or you can't get enough votes for everything in it. So if you make it 2 bills, you're going to lose shit. That's why. That's why you have to cut. Fuck me. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah, because you just want to sign shit and go, da, 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 da. Right.
Thank you all very much, and we'll see you have a big couple of days coming up, and then...
We'll see you have a couple of big days coming up, and then...
In a week and a half, we have, I think, some really tremendous things happening. We have...
What, the big brown people roundup? The Papers, Please force goes... gets their marching orders?
Have some really... I think it's going to set this country apart from all others.
Yeah, that's... I don't know, that doesn't sound very good, though.
Do some great work. Any quick questions?
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? If you have to split one bill into two, it means you're losing stuff. So it does make a difference. And secondarily, what? Here's my question. Hal Sparks, Megaworldwide, the greatest live stream in the history of live streams. What? Fuck is wrong with you? What? What is that? What are you talking about? What is this? Why do you have your hands at your sides like a fucking toddler in a school play? Are you playing a fucking piece of okra in the nutrition play? And you're just like, I am a piece of, vegetation, What are you doing? You're a grown fucking man. Who gives a shit about the turnout at a funeral, you fuckwad? You weirdo? They were celebrating and they were sad. Okay, great.
Day one. You have gotten some significant pushback from people in Greenland and Panama with comments. Would you consider sending the U.S. troops in order to fly with those troops?
Yeah, I don't think we had pushback. Greenland is.
Oh my God. Stop with the fucking Greenland nonsense, people. It's not happening. You can't do it without an act of Congress. You're not going to declare war on fucking Greenland. You can't declare other countries' territory. He's not going to use the authorized use of military force left over to seize Greenland and in effect he'd have to declare Russia a terrorist state first, which would be fucking hilarious. Knock yourself out. I'm with you there. Shit, I'll bring you a pen. And then after you're done, you can put the cap on and shove it up your ass. But, there's no way. Shut the fuck up. You're not buying Greenland from Denmark. It's not for sale. You're not going to seize Denmark because it's necessary for national security, because you'd have to declare war on Greenland, on Denmark to do it, or Greenland itself. You'd have to declare the force that you're protecting yourself against to be a state sponsor of terror at the very least. That would be Russia. Fuck you. And then, so understand, the press, knock it the fuck off. But these are, this is laser pointer shit, dummy.
Look at the people there. We got tremendous, we got applause as we landed yesterday. I had my representatives, my son.
It's Greenland. They applaud anytime a plane lands there. Like, oh shit, look at that. They did it. Sometimes they tip a wing when they're coming in. That was pretty good.
I'm Don, and representatives go there, and it was like a love fest. You know that?
Yeah, that's why he stayed overnight. Oh wait, he just turned around and came right the fuck back.
The Panama Canal, look, they're taking advantage of it. They charge.
It's the other direction, fuckwad. It's the same overlapping questions, but I'm worried that maggots might actually think that the Panama Canal goes through Greenland at this point.
More for our ships than to do any other ships. They charge more for our Navy to go through. We built it. We gave it to them for $1. In other words, we gave it to them for nothing. The most expensive structure ever built in the history of our country, relatively speaking.
Relative to structures that aren't in our country? You mean of the structures that we participated in building that cut another country in half, that split a continent, it was the most expensive of all those. Of course, yeah. Per capita.
The most expensive, by far. We lost 38,000 people.
Nobody bothered to look for him. So sad.
They gave it to him for $1.
No, they didn't. It was a 100-year lease. We signed it back over. You guys take care of this. We don't need this shit.
And then they charge more for our ships. It's not going to happen.
No, they don't. You did everything last minute, asshole. And when our military goes through, unlike shipping container ships, okay, first of all, the Chinese military doesn't go through the fucking Panama Canal, okay? We don't have any Chinese military ships in the fucking Atlantic. They're all in the Pacific. And if they were going to come around to the Atlantic, they would go via the Middle East back up that way, because they would work with Africa and go that direction. So there's no reason for them to cut through the fucking Panama Canal. The Chinese military is not sending their fucking ships through the Panama Canal. They aren't sending submarines through there. If they're sneaking around anything, they would sneak around the bottom because they wouldn't want us to know they were coming. Like, why the ever-loving shit? We, however, send the biggest possible warships through there. And when we send them last minute, everybody else has to hold until our shit goes through. And so they charge a lot of money for last minute things. If you want to stand in line, you can do that. But our ships are not going to sit there like sitting ducks waiting to go through. It's so fucking stupid. It's brutally stupid.
And China's running the Panama Canal. That's not.
China's okay. And again, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Hold on. China's running the Panama Canal, is it? Hold on. Let me move this over here. And oops, sorry. Almost moved my chat room. Can't have that happen. What he means probably is the like the software and the service. China, hold on. China running Panama Canal. Yeah. The Panama Canal chief dismisses. Here it is. This is the Panama Canal chief dismisses Trump's claims on China/fees because they're gibberish. Leaders reacted. Okay. Panama Canal Authority chief dismissed President-elect Trump's claims that China is controlling the trade route and criticized his comments about fees. Ricarte. That's nice. Ricarte. Vasquez Morales told Wall Street Journal that Trump's accusations that China's running the Panama Canal are unfounded. China has no involvement whatsoever in our operations. That's pretty unequivocal. Vasquez said there are no exceptions to the rules, and he cannot discriminate for China, the U.S., or anyone else. This will violate the neutrality treaty, international law, and it will lead to chaos. Trump has repeatedly brought up the idea of the U.S. gaining control of the Panama Canal. At a press conference, Trump refused to commit to not using military force to take control of the passageway. He's just talking out of his ass. He's an old fart rambling. Please, shut the fuck up about this. Stop it. Let him write a fucking order and have everybody go, no, that's illegal.
Not gonna happen.
Let him look like a dickhead and and the impotent prick that he is. Trump says that China's running the canal. That's who says it. Andy girl, that Trump. That's it. Everybody else is like, what the fuck are you talking about? Here's what he heard. He heard somebody say they go through there so much and they use it so much for shipping, they practically run the fucking thing. And he heard run the fucking thing, and when China runs it, and then just forgot all the other, like the word practically.
In California, Mr. President, during the pandemic, you often said that you didn't believe that you should bail out blue states that you believe were being mismanaged. Given your criticism of Governor Gavin Newsom, are you willing to work with him, and do you believe that federal aid should be provided to California for as long as it takes?
Well, it's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish. Okay,
no, we're not. That's Northern California. That's one case, and it's not even applicable to this at all. This is, dude, that's hundreds of miles away. They don't have anywhere to trap. We have a reservoir now. We have two big ones, and well, a third actually. The big one with that's a little iffy. The LA reservoir. The dam on it is a little sketchy and needs repair. But like again, where are you going to put all this water and hold it? Yeah, once it's coming, where's it go, asshole? What are you gonna do? Turn fucking Temecula into a giant lake?
Which is in other areas, by the way.
Yes, Northern California.
Called a smelt. And for the sake of a smelt, they have no water. They had no water in the fire hydrants.
We didn't run out of water in the fucking fire hydrants because of fucking sardines, you weirdo. No. And, as they say, he who smelt it can't make a deal. I don't know. Jesus.
Today in Los Angeles was a terrible thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they could have put the fire out just with all the fish.
And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal side, and he didn't want to sign it, but it's not going to happen again like that. There's no reason. Can you imagine? You have farmers that don't have any water in California. They have.
Yeah, that's up north. And by the way, they do have water. They just don't have all of it because we have enormous cities.
Plenty of water. They don't have a drought. They send it out to the Pacific.
We do have a drought. There's a drought. We don't just send it out to the Pacific.
and it's crazy. So what's happening in California is a true tragedy. I know those areas very well. I have many friends.
You know those areas?
Living in those houses. That is a true tragedy. Nobody ever thought. I mean, virtually Beverly Hills and areas around Beverly Hills are being decimated.
Yeah, so now you care.
The biggest homes, some of the
Yeah, you think you'd even comment if Compton was on fire?
most valuable homes in the world are just destroyed. I don't even know. You know, you talk about a tax base. If those people leave, you're going to lose
A tax base. Shut the fuck up.
half your tax base of California. This is a true tragedy, and it's
Well, the problem is we have to coat all of our rich people in asbestos. I tried to get it done, and everybody fought me on it, but we're gonna get it done. We're gonna take all the rich people that you have in there. We're gonna wrap them in. We're gonna give them all the fashion for all the awards show season this year is going to be those fire suits that they wear, the big silver ones that look like spacesuits, like Marty McFly wore.
a mistake of the governor, and you could say the administration. They don't have any water.
They have water.
They didn't have water in the fire hydrants.
They have water in the fire hydrants.
They don't have water. And
They have water.
yet they have, the water comes from, you know where? Up north. And it comes down at levels, they give millions and millions of barrels of
Liquid water.
gallons of water.
Barrels of gallons. Okay. Are they in gallon jugs in the barrels? Who does this? Probably the smelt. That's who does it. Yeah. It's a special kind of jug making smelt.
That they have, and they send it out into the Pacific. For the Pacific, it's like a drop, it's nothing. But for California, it would take care of the whole state.
Yeah, I agree. Let's flood Idaho. Fuck it. Let's just drown everyone in the western part of the state and in Idaho. Let's just, just bore a giant hole through the ground into like the caves and stuff under Idaho and just fill it with water. Fuck them. Great idea.
So what's happened is a tragedy, and the governor has not done a good job. With that being said, I got along well with him. When he was governor, we worked together very well, and we would work together. I guess it looks like we're going to be the one having to rebuild it. But what happened there,
You're not going to have to rebuild it. What are you talking about? You think there's going to be federal contractors coming in there making houses, you asshole?
I don't think there's anything that I've ever seen quite like it. And the
Really? Really? Tell that to Hawaii, you dipshit.
insurance companies are going to have a big problem because you're talking about big, big dollars.
Some of them are so big they won't even fit in your mailbox.
Guidance pardon Liz Cheney. What's your message for President Biden? He says he.
Oh, I have no. I thought it was ridiculous that he did that, but we have more important things to talk about. Liz Cheney was, she lost in the Republican Party, as you know, in her state, by the biggest margin in the history of a politician running for Congress.
Yeah, he has to say margin because the state barely the state basically needs a fucking mayor to run it, and it's got 2 senators.
She lost by like 42 points. Nobody's ever lost.
Yeah, 9 people. 42 points. One guy and his dog forgot to vote.
Like that. So
Fucking Wyoming. Jesus Christ. And what did it give us, ladies and gentlemen, if I may? What indeed did it give us? Hold on. Do we even know? Well, it gave you the greatest elected woman in the history of the great state. Hide your pets. Of Wyoming. I'm Harriet Hagman, the QAnon representative for the great state of Wyoming, where our state motto is, why not? Excuse me. So I beat Liz Cheney by 42 points, which is 12 people. I have 12 fingers. I'm holding them all up. Just some of them I have a tourniquet issue. Why?
I don't care about Liz Cheney. I care about these people.
President Trump, millions of deportations. What does day one need to look like for the Trump administration?
Number one, we're closing the border. It's going to be closed very strongly.
Yeah, it's going to be very, like they're going to slam it shut. Like the Denzel Washington meme. Shtump. We're going to close the gate. I'm going to go down there personally and go, we're closed. What? The son, the king's stinking son fired me. While you're at it, why don't you just pour me, give me a nice paper cut and pour lemon juice on it. We're closed.
It's going to be closed.
We're closed. God damn it.
And we're going to have to take people out that are criminals. We have people from jails, from...
Wait, I'm sorry, what? We have criminals here, and you're going to take them out? You're going to show them a nice time? You're going to give them dinner and a movie and a handy? Are you sending Boebert? God damn it. No wonder we have so much crime. You have Lauren Boebert taking these criminals out for a night on the town. What happens if one of them has already seen Beetlejuice? Then what?
All over the world and from mental institutions.
Can't stop saying it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, cool. Dude, I need to see like rows of people in fucking straitjackets for this, any of this to not be hilarious for the rest of your presidency.
And
both years.
As you know, they're going to have to be removed, and it's one of the reasons I won the...
Yeah, what are you going to do? Lance them like a boil?
Election in a landslide. The people of this country don't...
You didn't win in a landslide. It wasn't a landslide. Simmer the fuck down.
Want murderers
Jen,
walking down their
Thank you, Jen. I'm doing my best.
farms or their streets or their cities.
There's farms or their streets or their cities. What? What was that? Hold on.
Don't want murderers walking down their farms or their...
Yes, they do. I mean, that's a honest to God. You know, I mean, hold on. I think we have footage at yeah, let's see. I think I have footage of what he's talking about. Yeah, where is it? Yeah. Hold on. Pause. There you go. Yeah, this is footage from what he's talking about. There. Yeah, this is. I mean, I don't know if you can see, but the guy. There's this girl tries to escape. She gets in a truck because she's being chased by a murdery person. Yeah, and then this undocumented immigrant comes up and hits the truck. Yeah, there he is. So that guy's obviously from Venezuela or Guatemala or Caracas. There he is. Yeah. And she's just laughing because the guy's mad because he doesn't speak English. Clearly, that's live footage of the inside live from inside Trump's head.
Their streets or their cities.
Yes, their farms, their streets, or their cities.
As you know, we had thousands of people that murdered other people that were in jail.
Well, they'd have to be a murderer, I guess. I don't know if you know this.
That were released into our country. Many of those people murdered more than one person. Many of them.
Yeah, like yeah, I remember the guy who killed more than one person. What was his name? I mean, there's a lot of them. You can't memorize them all. There's just too many. But the one you were mentioning before, the guy with the name of what was his name? Because he came from that country that just dumped him here, and they have like they show the bus ticket that they gave him, and then he got into the country, and then they show they caught him red-handing, killing 2 people because that's how he has to qualify to get on this list, and then he was put in jail and then released by the Biden administration. What was that guy's name? Jake, Sally Forth. That was his wife. Winston something Zeddemore. No. I don't know. We'll look it up. But I trust you. Lots of them. Sure.
About 42% supposedly.
That is an absolute statistical fact. About 42%. And let me tell you something. It's exactly 42% of the undocumented murderers who you don't know who they are have killed more than one person. 42% to the fucking dot point, not 42.3, not 39.6, and we rounded the fuck up. Yeah. Where did he get those numbers? Out of his asshole, Alexa, in our chat room. That's where he got these numbers. He pulled these numbers. He had I don't know, whoever was closest, Russell Brand, somebody grab a pair of chopsticks, round ends first, reach up in there and claw this number out of his butthole. It's still, of course, attached to the interior of his rectum like a carbuncle, so they read it and it snaps back inside. I mean, look, what can I say? Russell Brand is a pro.
We want them out of our country, and we're going to get a country back again, and we're going to...
A country? What one? We're going to get a country back? Which one? We're going to take back a country? What country did we lose? We got, what is it, Japan? Germany. I think he's going to regret having given up Germany. That's the next one. After World War II, we should have kept Germany for, at least keep the beer and the pretzels. We should have, if we're going to spend all these lives fighting them off, we keep the pretzels and Oktoberfest.
Be really governed by common sense. These are the principles of common sense. We're not going to...
Wouldn't common sense be based on commonly accepted values and ideas and details? I mean, you can't actually go, it's common sense that if there's a male dragon breathing fire on an elementary school, you punch him in the right testicle because it's the one closest to you, because if you get on the left side, that's his strong eyes. Common sense. Right? You can't have common sense when the details of the entire idea are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, I think is the technical phrase.
Be governed by stupid people. We're going to common sense. We're going to be respected all over the world again very soon.
God, can you imagine being one of these assholes? They all know they're smarter than he is. Anybody would. But they're all like, ugh, fuck me. I got less. I'm gonna have a harder time running for president than this shithead. God damn. The hell? Thank you, Richard Fleer. The eels need to take the forest before they can swim in the water. The eels need to work for water. We got to get, all the, who smelt the eels first. We will smite the smelt. And once the smelting smite is over, then we'll have plenty of water, too much water. And we will we'll be able to grow rice in the fields where they grow almonds in Southern California, because everything will be flooded. God damn. So brutally dumb. Now, can I look, CSL set me up with this, and I don't know. I love you, brother. I love you, CSL. Can't stop lying. But I don't know. What are you doing to me, man? What are you doing to me? So I watch a lot of these kind of videos all the time because I'm keeping up on this stuff, and I want to know what the what the sales pitches and the talking points are and all that kind of stuff, and where these assholes think they're going, and and I look for the myriad of weaknesses in their arguments and that kind of stuff. It's kind of what I have to do. It's part of the job now. And so it's hard to find stuff that I haven't already watched. So our dearest CSL goes and finds these things for me so that I can see them for the first time along with you. And I'm not just retreading the same territory and whatever. Anyways, does a great job. But sometimes, yes, CSL, exactly. You know exactly where I'm going. He just typed this clip, perhaps. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, formerly of Diamond and Silk, it's Just Silk on the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat live show, even though Diamond has been dead for over a year. 2 years? Jesus, how long has it been? Fuck me. Okay. Silk discusses what she saw through her camera's wow. Now, I'm guessing this is her Ring camera. I don't know if this is snow or fire, because the qualities are, she seems to be freaking out. And yes, there are pictures of her and Diamond all around her like she's currently doing a wake. I don't know if she puts these up in the living room when she does the show and then takes them down, which is even creepier. Ugh. Is she in prison? Yes. So I don't know what this is. CSL, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. But you guys are going to find out with me, okay? If I have to deal with this, so do you. Fuck me. Here we go. Oh, and I have to let me get something ready before, because you're watching House Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. And don't forget to tip.
5 eggs in a month.
That's right. That's how many we need.
5 eggs.
Absolutely. So here we go. Yeah, boy. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I have to click on this first.
So on December the 18th, you all, around 3:30 a.m. in the morning, y'all, I was on my way to bed because I was binge watching some shows. Okay.
No, it's not okay. I want to know what show. You can learn a lot about people by what they're binge watching. I'm finally trying to get through all of Westworld, largely because of Rob Glenn in our conversations and how annoyed I am at futurism shit that gets it wrong. Doing okay though. And then Resident Alien, which is lovely. And then of course, because of summer, Criminal Minds and all things criminal. That said, I don't know. What do you think she's watching? She's binge watching House Flipping at 3 o'clock in the morning? Like, love it or list it? Okay.
And around 3:30 in the morning, I heard my rooster crock-a-doodle-doo.
Your rooster crock-a-doodle-dude. All right, so he's into the, I didn't know that roosters had the patience for, long dishes that require cooking over the course of 12 to 18 hours.
Yeah. He was crock-a-doodle-dooing, okay?
Cock-a-doodle-doo. Cock-a-doodle, not crock-a-doodle-doo. Unless he's a liar, I suppose. That's how do you know your rooster is a habitual liar? He says crock-a-doodle-doo. It's all a crock. This is a terrible joke, and I apologize.
All right. So I decided to bring up my camera and to see what's going on with my babies out there
Okay.
at the chicken coop. Okay.
Sure, absolutely. Where else are you going to get
5 eggs.
at 3 o'clock in the morning?
When I brought up my
Also, wait a minute. You have a chicken coop? And you expect us to believe you were upset about the price of eggs back in the day?
5 eggs in a month. Eat 2 eggs a day. 5 eggs. 5 eggs. Eat 2 eggs a day. 5 eggs.
Really? You had chickens this whole fucking time? God damn it. This has all been a lie.
My cameras, you all, I saw all of this. It looked like trash or or some type of spores or something. Just
Trash or spores or something. Okay, sure. So really small trash.
blowing all across my camera like it was some type of hurricane or tornado or something that was going on. But when you're sitting inside the house, I didn't hear no wind. I didn't hear nothing blowing or anything.
No, of course not.
You all. So I decided to get up out of the bed, and look outside the window there in my backyard. So, because I'm like, well, what's going on? How can I see this in my camera? So, but I don't hear nothing going on.
I see. So, for spores to be flying around, you'd obviously need hurricane gale winds that you could hear that would shake the house.
When I looked outside, you all, it was like my whole backyard, okay, and I know it was all of us, okay, was in this white smog, okay?
So in a white smog, okay.
They call it fog.
Do they? So white smog, we'll call that fog, just for sake of argument. Okay, yeah. Anyways, I still honestly don't know. Oh boy.
All right, the scientists call it fog. I'm gonna call it smog.
Why? Why? It seems like you don't know the difference, so why would you even bother? But also, there is a difference. You know, fog would be just condensation, just water and air mixing together, and where smog is pollution.
Because I've never seen nothing like this. You can barely see the cars.
Yeah, that fog, thick as pea soup. Fog. We hear fog a lot. Fog. Fog's a word we hear a lot. Fog's not that weird. Smog that thick is stranger than fog that thick. I mean, if you're gonna have something that's difficult to see through, low visibility, most of the time, unless it's smoke, it's gonna be fog. It's gonna be fog. It's gonna be fog. Sorry. If it's smog and it's like that, you would smell it. You wouldn't even have to go outside. You go, uh-oh. 1992 Los Angeles has shown up.
Okay, I couldn't.
No, not okay, but please continue.
Hardly see my chicken coop. I couldn't. Just in the. It's like it was like a white sheet of paper, just all in the yard.
Yeah, we're familiar with fog as a general idea.
It was
Sure.
terrible with what I was seeing, but.
Why would it be terrible? Other than the fact that you can't see. I mean, were you reading Stephen King's The Mist at the same time?
What I did not see, you all, I didn't see no rain, I didn't see no snow, I didn't see no sleet, I didn't see no ice, I didn't see no hail, I didn't see nothing moving.
Yeah, fog often is a weather element all by itself. It doesn't always have a sidecar of something else. It's just fog,
I didn't see.
Well, you kind of did. You saw spores or something that you saw blowing by, which might be snow. Never mind.
None of that. But this stuff looked so thick and spooky. Okay? That's what I saw. It was like.
Great. What was it?
Like I was inside of this bubble. Okay?
That I believe.
So I went online. I said, well, let me go online and see what's going on. I ain't never seen this. What's happening with the weather here in my area? And there was a warning. They said they call it dense fog.
I can't do it. I can't. I can't make it. That's it. Yeah, that's what they call it. Often. Yeah. You'll notice the word dense attached to it. It should be fuck me. CSL just wrote it gets better. No, fuck. Oh, God. would like to point out at this moment the picture of her meeting Trump and him thanking them for helping him get elected in the first place and being such good supporters. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Please. I love you, brother. Oh, God. Yeah, CSL is trying to break me. He is trying. They call it dense fog. Wow. It's just poetry.
Advisory. Okay? All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? This was still strange to me because I saw something moving, you all, on my camera, okay, that I've never seen before. All right?
Something you've never seen before. Well-balanced meal. The Epstein files.
So I got I want my producer to play clip 4 right beside me so I can show y'all, because I've never seen this. If you look at the light right here, you all, you can see it look like it's snowing, it's raining, or something is happening, right? Just
Yes,
look at that.
Yeah, it's misting. Yeah, that happens.
But when the light is not there, you will see it in a minute. It's like it's clear as day.
Oh. 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 Oh, God. I don't know if you've noticed that, like, I look around the room and there's no cat hair floating in the air, and then the sun cuts through the room. Suddenly there's like this magic ray of cat hair. But the rest of the room, there's no floating cat hair. There's no dust. Just where the sun goes. Does all of it go there? Oh, shit. Oh, God.
So I'm
Also, no, it isn't, by the way. You're also seeing it up here. It's not just in the ray of it. This fog doesn't... Do you guys see the text? Can you read the text? Oh, shit. Do you guys see the text? Does it read? This fog does not look like fog. 6:30 a.m., 12:30, 24, Florida. Shit. Oh, God. I'm afraid to push play. There's so much of it left.
like, well, what's going on? Something is truly happening. These things are like little spores, or little fleas, or little something.
Fleas. Okay.
Look at how you don't see it there. You don't see it there, right? Now look, when they put the light back up, you will be able to see all whatever this is. It's all over the plants.
You move it closer to the camera. That's why. No, never mind.
It's everywhere. Something
And then as soon as he moves it, they disappear.
is truly happening. Okay.
Yes. It's called precipitation. Light precipitation is often accompanies dense fog.
Okay. I even bought some pictures along, you all.
I don't doubt it.
Bought some pictures along so that we can talk about this real quick, okay? Yes.
Please.
Can you start with picture number 1?
Yeah.
Even
yeah.
though this was in Florida, that particular video that he just said was in Florida.
Uh-huh. This is the first picture.
You all, even though it
It's a screenshot of her phone.
was in Florida, it was all over. This is what I saw on
Okay.
December the 18th. This here video shows December the 30th.
Oh, so this is obviously bullshit.
Okay?
Yeah, because they never have more than 2 dense fog alerts in Florida in a 16-year period.
Right?
No.
But this is what I saw on the 18th, okay? Now, here's some pictures. Now, I want you all to see where I went and did a snapshot so I can show you all what the weather has said, all right? It was 3:06 a.m. Eastern, December 18th. That's what time I had looked everything up, and that's what time everything was going on.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Anywho, get to my next picture. What's my next picture? I want y'all to, this is on my camera, you all. Look at it.
Obviously, Chewbacca is using it to clean his backside.
3:32 a.m. in the morning. Yes.
In 18 seconds.
Yes. This was on my camera.
Oh,
this was
shit.
the white stuff that was coming at my. I said, "What's going on?"
Yeah. Have any of your friends fallen asleep and woken up devoid of emotion?
What is this?
It's light precipitation.
Go ahead on to the next one, baby. Look, that's my chicken coop, you all. All right.
Yeah, of course it is.
All right. Look at that.
Yes, the official hold on. The official chicken coop.
That stuff just swarming all throughout my camera outside. All right, that you can see on the camera. But when you're looking outside with the naked eye, you don't see none of that.
I would not walk out there with my naked eye with those gnat flea, God knows what, demonic fingernails floating through the sky. Like, it's probably just clipped fingernails, just somebody's fingernail collection, and the wind just blew it. And now this, if you go outside, you just get slit with little tiny white boomerangs.
All right, go ahead on to the next one. All right, that's another camera, y'all. Yeah. Yes. Look at all of that stuff happening. Something ain't right. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yes. Go on to the next one.
Yeah, that looks a little more familiar. I don't know what the fuck that is. So you were attacked by cotton, apparently. So there was a giant cotton attack?
Now, this right here happened a few days.
Yeah. Then I look outside, and outside my window, is it just me, or does this look like a giant turtle biting the ass of a house cat that is chewing on an apple? You can see it? You can see it, right? This looks like a jackrabbit trying to escape the Ron Perlman after he's running out of his makeup trailer and he's got half of his Beauty and the Beast makeup on. and the rabbit, see, there's its eye and its little nose and its front of his face and its little ears and its little foot's in front of it, and there's Ron Perlman and part of his face, and then he's wearing, like, his makeup's falling off because he just left half of it's flapping out there, and then it's trying to reach this over here, which looks vaguely like an M50 machine gun, so that it can save itself from the attack of Ron Perlman. How did... Something isn't right, y'all.
Days, you all.
Uh-huh.
A few days later, I want to say, okay? Yep, a few days later, all right? This was the clouds. These were the clouds that was there in my backyard.
Just your backyard. So you're going to pan to the side and show us that it was just like... nothing. That's not the sky extending into. Oh, fuck me.
All right. It was all over. It wasn't just targeting just me.
Oh, good. So I was starting to get. I was like, shit. The weather's getting that personal. Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's the chickens.
Okay.
Take us. We are aliens. Take us to your. All right.
Just telling you all. I just had enough sense to take some pictures because I'm like, I ain't never seen no clouds like this.
Really? Ever? Ever? You haven't seen... I don't know anybody who hasn't seen clouds like this. What the shit?
Hanging so low in my doggone yard. Uh-huh.
How small are those trees or bushes? I'm guessing trees. Say what you will about clouds, but they do seem to be above the trees where clouds often are. By the way, do you know what clouds that hang really low are called? Fog! Fucking fog! This is basically what fog is. Fog is just like a low-hanging cloud. It's just a cloud in your yard, you know. Maybe you were being attacked.
All right, go ahead to the next one, baby. Yes, look at this.
Yeah, that's what we affectionately refer to as sky.
Look at this.
Uh-huh.
You all. What the hell is going on?
I'm gonna go with clouds.
It's like the cloud look like a sheet of gray. Yeah.
I gotta say, honestly, this is a segment. She pulled this and posted it on the channel. Like, they're like, okay, this is exemplary of the kind of stuff that we need to show the world. Out of all the two fucking hours or whatever she does her show, this part is the standout, hands down, most important emergency breaking news segment. We've got to put this out to the world to find out what the fuck is going on.
Just something gray, just grazing across.
Francine isn't high enough for this shit. I don't think anybody is. This is, sorry, all you weed fans out there. You ain't got shit on the bizarre ramblings of Silk.
You all. Okay, go ahead on to the next one, darling. Look at it. This is the clouds, you all. Okay, look at these clouds. All right.
Yeah, it's Florida. They're probably high on meth.
Right. You see the sun trying to peek through?
Yeah, and they won't let it because it's the devil.
Go ahead on to the next one. Go ahead to the next one. You see the sky trying to peek through? You see the sun trying to peek through? You all look at there.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't think the sun tries anything. I think it just is too busy being the sun. I don't think it goes, hey, what about that little speck over there in Florida? I mean, why get the fuck out of the way, clouds? There's no trying at all. I think it just exists, and I think it's you trying to photograph the sun through some clouds might be the only trying that's going on. Fuck me. Why am I even engaging in this? All right. Look
at there. Okay? So this lets me know that there is something in the stratosphere of our skies.
Yes, it's called atmosphere. Clouds, condensed water vapor, sunlight refracting through. Fuck me.
All right. That's
no,
what's
not
going
all right. No, not all right. Just saying. I have to put my foot down someplace. No, not all right. None of this is all right.
On here. Yes, yes.
She's got more of them. She took more pictures.
Got some more?
Uh-huh.
Do I have some more? Yeah, look at there. This here, I believe, this just happened, I believe. I believe that this just happened right here.
Mm-hmm. Just happened when? Someone else is taking pictures with your phone outside? Are we in the same place? What are you doing?
A few days ago.
Oh, okay. This just happened a few days ago. I see. So let me get this straight. And pardon me if I'm not following you on this. But when you look at the sky lately, it has been different every time you've looked at it. Has it? So the issue is that they're clouds at all, or that they won't stand still.
Yes, it looked like chemtrails or something, but it looked like the sun. Go ahead to the next one. The sun is trying to peek through whatever the hell this stuff is that these people are spraying in the doggone air.
Oh, I see. She thinks she's being misted by the government.
Or created. Don't tell me that's Mother Nature.
It's Mother Nature.
Mother Nature got more common sense than to cover up the doggone sun.
Oh, shit. Jesus Christ. What? Hold on. Wait. CSL, when you said there was... Oh, it did. You're like, I didn't watch Fire the Dead. No, this is off the charts for my thing. What? What the fuck does she think happens at night? Yeah, this is 19. I'm not doing all this. This is 19 minutes of this shit. Wait a minute. Wait. Stop. Wait. What?
In the doggone air. Or created. Don't tell me that's Mother Nature. Mother Nature got more common sense than to cover up the doggone sun.
That's just like that's astounding. That is amazing. That is so off the charts. Like, how do you get that to this age without just looking up occasionally and going, I don't think I need a hat today. The clouds are, Jesus Christ, CSL. You know what? It's nice. I take it back. You know what? It's nice. It's nice to know I can still be flabbergasted after all the crazy shit that we've gone through. I can still be like, wow, that's new. Yeah, Virginia. She's like, this can't be real. This is totally real. I don't know what this is.
All right. Look at the sun trying to peek through.
Those are trees.
Look at there. Now, this was another area that I was able to walk to in my yard.
I don't even know. What?
And I found a clear spot. But look at all of that white stuff
Ugh, gross.
still in the area of the sky.
Uh-huh.
Do I got any more? Is that it, baby? All right.
That's it, baby.
All right. Yes. So now I'm understanding you all that people are complaining about strange chemical smells. People.
No, that if you're smelling almonds, that's a stroke, and it would explain everything about this video so far.
People are getting
Do you smell burnt toast?
sick with respiratory illnesses, runny nose, runny eyes.
I think you only get that if you live in Vermont during pollen season. You get burny eyes. Anybody get burny eyes when they're there? And your hands start to shake and you start gesturing like this? I don't think this works at all. You know, like what the heck's wrong? I mean, I don't think this works at all.
The people are complaining about this, but now for me and my family, we've been using our natural resources to
Oh, wait a second. Are we being rope-a-doped into an ad?
ward off whatever the hell this stuff is, okay?
You mean clouds? You have a natural remedy for clouds? Please tell me it's taken rectally.
All right? And now, for one, hyperchlorous, the hyperchlorous spray from Curativa Bay, all right?
No, not all right.
Hyperchlorous spray from Curativa.
No. After what you just said, I'm not gonna go pick anything off a shelf that sounds even remotely like that and spray it into myself, because it's gonna be wrong. I'm gonna end up with a halon extinguisher stuck up my nose.
Bay, you can go there to diamondandsilkstore.com and you will see Curativa Bay there as one of my affiliates, okay?
Mm-hmm. Here comes the snake oil. That's right, Martha.
All right?
No, not all
You
right.
can also use Mass Therma. We've been spraying the Mass Therma as well. Yep. You can go there, diamondandsilkstore.com, get your...
And this wards off accumulation. Does it work on cumulus clouds only, or?
Some. When you go outside, spray it. When you come back inside, spray it.
Yeah, when you're just standing still, wondering where you left your keys, spray it. When you're sitting down on the pot, spray it. When you're getting up, spray it.
Yeah, spray it in your face, spray it in your eyes, spray it
In your ears, up your ass.
in your mouth, spray it, okay?
Yeah, be like Bobcat Goldthwait in with the deodorant in Police Academy 2.
You got Dr. Artist, you got the Bio Defense and the Foreign Protein, that you can pick up.
Okay, we figured it out. Okay, I'm done. Jesus Christ. So, you know how Russell Brand's trying to be the hippie Alex Jones, and Tucker Carlson's trying to be the dweeb Alex Jones, and doing a great job, by the way. And Glenn Beck's trying to be the new Mormon with type 2 diabetes, Alex Jones, maybe. Silk is just trying to be the dumbest Alex Jones she can be. And I you know, considering the competition, I want to applaud Silk for swinging for the fences, as considering how fucking stupid all the other people who want to emulate Alex Jones, including Alex Jones himself, who is a fraud, who is playing a character called Alex Jones. I want to thank Silk for, Jesus Christ. You're watching House Sparks Mega Worldwide. I don't know if I should say sorry or you're welcome. Now, real quick. I don't have time for this whole next clip, but I like the title of it. This is since I'm taking the reins here, CSL, and it's I think it's clippish at the beginning, but it's too long for me to cover, I think. But this is from a station called Farzad. And it's like one of these weird interview shows where I don't know why, but people show up on this show. And again, it just shows me that I'm wasting all my time trying to do cool graphics and shit, because people show up on these things that just look like ass and don't care. But this is Elon Musk apparently zooming in from someone's house he broke into with the lights off. To his insurance adjuster's dinner party or something. And it just says, the title is Elon Musk just made bonkers new predictions. Now, I mean, I know what you're thinking, evergreen, sure. But this is 15 hours ago. So let's see what his bonkers new predictions are, considering these are supposedly new.
Our Optimus robot is the most sophisticated humanoid robot in the world.
I think he says Optimus, but it sounds like he's saying Artemis.
You know, we're aiming to have several thousand of those built this year. We're 10x that.
Back up.
Our Optimus robot is.
Yeah, he says Artemis or Arctimus. It's Optimus. Hold on. Is there another one? Yeah, because there is an Artemis Robotics, but that's at UCLA. They're the ones who are making the flesh bots. I don't know if you know this. Our artificial muscle technology enables new capabilities for robotics and human machine. Look at that. Yummy. Sexy. Do it, baby. Shake it, booty. Shake it, baby. Shake it, baby. See, contracting actuators. I'm sorry, I can't get demonetized because of the filth and vileness that is going on at the UCLA robotics factory. Save that for later. Put that in my. Hold on 1 second. I'm just gonna store that in my Notion, my Notion naughty list. That muscle is totally hot. It's gonna happen. I'm telling you. Just I'm gonna call it Priss. That's all you need to know. All right.
The most sophisticated humanoid robot in the world.
No, it's not. By the way, the Optimus robot that he's touting is not the most sophisticated in the world by any stretch. He knows it. Like, it's obvious. It's 4th gen compared to everybody else's. Optimus is behind everybody else.
You know, we're aiming to have several thousand of those built this year.
Yeah, that's because the Neo guys are going to have 10,000 done this year, and they're going to be 100,000 by the end of the year. Like, the beginning of the year, I think it was Q2, they're going to have 10,000.
We'll 10x that output next year, maybe 50 to 100,000 humanoid robots.
Yeah, you know, and by the way, you can put that in the bank, baby. You can put that in the bank, right up there with, hold on, let's see. There's another prediction that he made that was just magic. Let's see. I'll bring this up, hold on. Yeah, here you go. This is a good one. Hold on. This is much better.
Tesla car, autonomous cars will definitely be a reality. A Tesla car next year will probably be 90% capable of autopilot. Like, so 90% of your miles could be on auto. You know, for sure, highway travel. We're probably only a month away from having autonomous driving, at least for highways and for relatively simple roads. Safety than a person. Right now. Next question.
Nope.
Essentially all modes driving and be at least 100 to 200% safer than a person by the end of next year. We're talking maybe 18 months from now.
I feel very confident predicting autonomous robotaxis for Tesla next year.
Yeah.
I'm extremely confident of achieving full autonomy and releasing it to the Tesla customer base next year.
When do you think Tesla will solve level 4 FSD?
I mean, it's looking quite likely that it will be next year.
Yeah, that was fucking 2021. What year is it? Oh, it's 2025. Do they still have it? No. Is it coming this year? No.
And then 10x of the gain the following year.
Yeah, so just count on it.
The cumulative sum of human knowledge has been exhausted in AI training. That happened basically last.
And by the way, I think they're just slicing this together at the beginning. So he's saying that everything that's ever been written by humans and everything online has been gobbled up by AI, and there's nothing to train it on, which is, again, like, and it hasn't learned yet. Maybe it should do a review session?
Last year. Pretty much any cognitive task that doesn't involve atoms, AI will be able to do.
Any cognitive task that doesn't involve atoms, it will be able to do. First of all cognitive tasks involve atoms. Tasks involve atoms if you count the idea that I have a thought and then my hands follow that thought. Boy, do they. Sorry, where's that picture of that muscle again? Oh, boy. Oh, baby. Yeah, baby, you take it and you like it. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Sorry. Where was I? I apologize. That was so wrong, and yet it feels so right. Okay.
In 3 or 4 years, the FBI had this portal into Twitter where they could spy on anything and censor anything, and had a 2-week auto delete. So we don't even know what they did.
If I might
So you can't even say that they did anything.
start off with kind of a big overall question, and I'll do some questions, and then we'll get some questions in
As long as we get some questions, I think that's the important thing.
from the group.
Answers? Nah, fuck that. I think we should answer the questions with more questions.
You know, I have to say that I've been actually a Tesla owner for many years.
Sounds great. Thank you. You're clearly someone of great
I am. Oh, well, I touched the wheel. Let me tell you that the Tesla.
The car drove itself, and you did not need to intervene.
It did not need me for this entire ride.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty magical. It's like when you tell people that they've not experienced it, they don't believe you, you know?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, they do, until it doesn't. That's not the problem. Where the fuck did this guy go? 8 miles over to his friend's house in the middle of fucking nowhere?
I didn't believe me either. Because I've been a skeptic about how far it would go.
Sure.
And your latest releases of software are really incredible. So
Yeah, thank you.
People to try them.
Yeah, it's the middle of nowhere update.
The big question coming in the next decade, what do you think is going to be the greatest advances in technology that will affect people's lives?
Oh my God. Let me guess, AI.
Should they be expecting to see here from technology in their lives?
I'm going to be annoyed, aren't I? You just, okay, prep yourself, people. I'm going to be annoyed, aren't I? Here it comes. I know it.
Well, I don't want to blow your minds, but AI.
Fuck me. I'm fine. I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm gonna be fine.
It's going to be big.
Jesus Christ. Adorable.
I feel confident in that prediction. Well, the funny thing is, if you go back even 5 years ago, Certainly 10 years ago, even 15 years ago, I was saying AI is going to be like this massive thing that has deep super intelligence, smarter than the smartest human. People thought I was kidding.
No, they didn't. Everybody who's talked about AI, that once they crack some level of it, that's going to be part and parcel to it. And also, what the fuck does smarter mean? It can make quicker decisions? Well, so can a calculator if you don't have to consider other factors. It has no mortality, so it can't make mortality-based decisions very well, and it never will. So it's not smarter. And it won't be in that regard until it can have empathy written in. It's got an EQ with its IQ. Once it does have that, then its decisions will judge how smart it is based on its combination of those two things. But the idea that this asshole was way ahead of everybody else and goes, hey, man, remember when I was saying AI was going to be huge and everybody talked to me like I was nuts? Like, get the fuck out of here. Everybody, whenever they talked about AI, they were like, it'll have, a quicker response time than the human brain. Just like a calculator. Who gives a shit?
The way the computer's got to be smarter than the human and be able to do all these complicated things. And now the latest AIs are able to pass complicated tests better than most humans. You can pass the medical test better than 80% of doctors or something.
That's because it's never off book. It doesn't have limited brain synapses or whatever. It just draws from the actual information that's there.
They can diagnose.
And then it still gets it wrong. It's never off book, and it still gets it wrong. Now, at some point, they'll fix that part of it, but it won't because it's smart. Smart and by the way, smart, part of what being smart is, I think, as someone who is knowing what's worth remembering and keeping hold of with limited resources and jettisoning the rest so that it doesn't overwhelm you with too much detail and interfere with the kind of decisions or art or whatever you're trying to create. If you have access to everything and it doesn't cost you anything and you're just holding on to it, you're basically just a computer that spits shit out. Even if it sounds or looks or appears in a human way, that doesn't mean it is. It's just a calculator that smiles at you.
Knows radiography better than most people who've been doing it their whole life. So that's just accelerating.
By the way, the best radiologists, depending on, some who are very new to the field and some who've been working for a long time, are better than 80% of the radiologists who've been doing it their whole lives.
So yeah, I think if you haven't seen Jensen's talk, it's excellent.
Oh, Jensen Huang.
It really shows how much.
Yeah, what Jensen Huang from NVIDIA is what a real billionaire who really knows what he's talking about sounds like.
AI is advancing. And it's advancing on the hardware.
And by the way, his entire system is built on Jensen Huang's architecture.
Front, on the software front, in terms of data, this is like the new sort of thing is synthetic data, because we've actually run out of all the books, and you literally run out of, you take the entire internet and all books ever written, and all interesting videos, and you've now exhausted
all interesting videos.
All of basically the cumulative sum of human knowledge has been exhausted in AI training.
No, it hasn't. And you know how I know this asshole is just talking out of his butt? Let me tell you. Because no man steps in the same river twice. And when it comes to a book, and I've tried to express this to my son as best I can. Let me get an example, if I may. Let's see. Let me pick out a book back here. Got a couple of books that are kind of nice. I'm going to try to pick out something that's useful, maybe functional in this way. What's a good one? Oh, yeah, there you go. I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'll just pick this guy. Okay, so some of you may remember that I have an old history book of my grandfather's, and it is falling apart. It's like all rotted, and you can barely read it. I have it in another room, but I love reading it and actually having it, but you got to be very delicate when you're turning the pages. And then thanks to you guys, back like maybe even 2 years ago now, when I talked about it, people told me you could actually get the book online and get a modern print of it. So I found it, and I got a modern print of this book, and it's called Anne, and you gotta love the Anne because Universal starts with a U. and Universal History of the United States of America. And then the subtitle is Embracing the Whole Period from the Earliest Discoveries Down to the Present Time in 3 parts. And it was written by C.B. Taylor. And the stuff that, like, you can look at the pages in this, and they just did a fucking 1-to-1 stamp print. This is what the actual text looks like in that old book. It's literally taken from the original, an original scan of the document. Some of it so much so that it's really hard to make out, but because it just doesn't exist. There's not like a manuscript for it. There's like little stains on the one that they had, but this is the actual. This is what my copy of I think the reading inside of it, like, it's easier to read the book that I have, but this is the one that if I want to make notes or draw something in it, I would put this in. Okay, so yeah, it's the yellow makes it disappear. Sorry. So if I turn it this way, it won't glint there. But anyways, so once you've read this book, the second time you read it, you are not you reading this book for the first time. You are you plus this book. Does that make sense? Because when you read a book, it changes you. Right? When you read a book, you're different at the end. Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter, because of the things that you decide or the things that you learn or the things that you grow to appreciate or fear or have concern about. That changes you. Every book you read changes you. And so the next time you read it, you're not the same you that read it the first time. You are you plus this book reading this book. And your decisions about what's important in it and your feelings about certain things are different than they would be the first time you read it. Now, if he's saying everything has been eaten by AI and you put this book into AI, boom, there you go. Running this thing through AI a second time after it's learned other stuff may actually be more valuable than another book, because digesting this book after reading other books or absorbing them or learning the contents of those books would also change the nature of the AI itself. Its understanding shifts. So then you load the book back in again and you go through this book again. See what you see that's new. See what you see that's, that affects you. Read it, backwards, whatever. So that you don't zip through things like you might have, right, the first time. Chapter-wise, I don't mean the words. Because a human being that reads a book is different the second time they read the book. And so no one has ever read a book twice. No, the person who read the book the first time is gone. They're like Marty McFly. He is destroyed and remade. He's like every Star Trek character that gets beamed up. They are dematerialized and rematerialized, and their matter and their atoms and everything is different when they get on the ship. It's a different being. It may have certain memories, it may have certain lineage of that idea, but that's it. But any book you read, you're different at the end of it, even if it sucks. Yeah, music is the same thing, right? You hear things you didn't hear before. So the idea that you could just dump everything in there and hit grind and it'll it'll learn all there is to know because it's seen it is first principle horse shit that this asshole actually believes. And the idea that anybody thinks that just because you've entered it in the first time into AI and built it on this structure, that AI has nothing else to learn from the stuff it's already absorbed, because the connections it's made are all the connections that can be made, because in the same thing, like in a human brain, the synapses you attach after you've read this book, after you read a book, you create synapses to the memories involved in this and your feelings about them and the smells that you were smelling when you read it. There's a myriad of things, like, factors that stack while you're reading a book. True Christians think that way about the Bible, and it's true. It is true, Vincent. It's just true of every book. You shouldn't have a new ethical outcome every time you read it, but you might be inspired by different parts, or things might stand out to you. The point is that as a human being, you make brand new synapses every time you read it again. Or you kill off some synapses that you don't need and you disengage. That memory is not important. I got it wrong. When I read it the first time, I thought it meant this. It doesn't. And so your brain goes, fuck that. And has a memory of going, fuck that. And so you have that like line of synaptic reasoning, thought, logic, the hopes, the dreams, everything attached to that is gone now. And a memory of it having been removed for a reason. So that teaches you not to make attachments to things like that in the future, and you make a decision. And so the next time you pick up this book or any like it or the one you were reading before and you read it again, you're now that person with that history, with those beliefs, with those ideas, either grown or cut off. And the idea, if the way this asshole is thinking, if that's how AI works, it will never advance past a certain point. It will top out because it can't recontemplate anything. If you can't contemplate, the same thing from different angles, you're not smart. And if you're only, the only way you can angle things in your life is to coordinate angles from disparate projects or disparate books or disparate videos or whatever, different sources, and never the twain shall meet. You can't overlap them and understand them from a different perspective. If you can never alter your perspective, then you can't be smart. You could be learned, you could be a master of, of a particular logic form, but that's it. How that's why smelling food gives you memories of the past. Exactly, Luis. And so, this is important. Because this is how fucking stupid this guy is. That he can't contemplate what it would require to get past the intellectual dam that his idea of AI will run into. And he thinks he sounds smart saying this. That he thinks intelligence is like throwing information into one of those like pebble smoothing machines and putting it on frappe. And it's probably true of him, and it's why he's so fucking dumb, and it's why he's a liar, and it's why he sells bullshit over and over and over again, and he has no concept of whether something will work out, and he can afford to be a bullshitter and an optimist because he's rich. A poor person or a person of reasonable means or somebody trying to get a company off the ground by going around, if he was saying the shit he said about self-driving cars at like one of these VC Capital meetings or on Shark Tank, he'd be laughed off the fucking show. Those cumulative videos would be, oh, here comes this asshole selling his bullshit again. But he already had the money. So he can afford to bullshit. He's got a cushion of being full of shit. Same as Trump. Trump had a cushion where he could be full of shit because of his father's wealth and the buildings that he owned. And he was so fucking entrenched in New York real estate, which is a significant undertaking in the fabric of American economics, that getting the fucking cockroaches out is so goddamn hard, nobody tries. So he stands on top of this and says, I'm a genius. I figured all this out myself. And everybody could call bullshit on it, but he's got enough of a war chest to either fuck with you, push back, or still be standing after his bullshit gives way. That's what this is. It's a great example. This is a prime example of how Elon Musk is a fake smart person. And the only reason any of us, besides the fact that Obama's electric car bailout in 2008, electric car funding in the 2008 bailout for the big three, the only other reason we know this guy is because he's got enough money to be full of shit and get away with it. So there. And on that note, I gotta go because I'm already running late in summer and I have to be somewhere in 15 minutes. Shit. All right. But I want you to keep that in mind when you hear people talking. Sometimes you might hear people talk about how smart they are. But and there are very smart people out there, and there are good and decent smart people that are trying very hard to do a lot of good things, and then there are misguided smart people, and then there are people who are too, into their own projects to see the forest for the trees or any of that shit. But you are allowed to go, okay, if this was just a rando dude, would I believe him? If he was a college professor, would I believe him? If I found out he was selling something as a college professor, would I still believe him? You're allowed to do that. The answer might be yes at some point. Or you might be saying, somebody's spitballing, but they're in, that's because it's untested territory. They're on the edge of this thing. And that he gets away with it because a lot of people are just too stupid to know that he's out over his skis, and people give him the benefit of the doubt because it sounds like when you start talking about making science fiction possible, it all sounds like bullshit. So you kind of write it off. If he does it, wouldn't that be cool? So you can let it slide. But this is a guy who, is very close to the government, has huge government contracts, is completely untrustworthy, and gets his fucking aluminum from Russia to build Teslas in China. So pardon me while I factor that shit into everything he says and my bullshit meter goes off. Other than that, I have no opinion. I gotta go. I'll see you guys later.
That happened basically last year. And so the only way to then supplement that is with synthetic data, where the AI it'll sort of write an essay or come up with a thesis, and then it will grade it